Yeah.
Get amped up, dude. Get amped up.
Like how do you not love the musical interlude that we're getting right there? That is just unbelievable.
It's a beauty.
So happy. So happy. So happy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Alarm Fantasy Football. I am Howard Bender. With me, of course. Well, I can't say of course. From the internet doldrums of yesteryear,
Oh my God, dude.
He's back. Thank you, Xfinity Comcast, for fixing that issue. Andrew Cooper here. It is all about fantasy football trading. Buy low, sell high. This is a crazy time in the NFL right now. Crazy time in the fantasy football season. Injuries all over the place. And the trade phones are obviously ringing off the hook. What is up, Coop? How are you today?
I'm good, man. Yeah, dude. Yesterday with the internet, you should have heard me on the phone with I'm on the phone with Xfinity. Like, well, how big a boy are you? Why don't you come down here and we'll yeah, like just trying to get this going, dude. Because the people, man, you guys. The thing is, at Fantasy Line, we have so many great people that I tuned into the shows as best I could, and the train keeps on moving. I hate missing these shows, dude. I hate missing these opportunities to talk ball and set people up, especially right now with the injuries hitting and the bye weeks hitting. This is the best time to take advantage of trades. This is the best time to look around. You're not, quote unquote, taking advantage of people too, because you're helping them. Look at your league mates. If they're 1-4, they can't lose again. Say, hey man, you can't lose this week. I'm going to help you, and you're going to give me a shot to go deeper. But those people have to recognize that they're 0-5, 1-4. You can't lose another week, man. You're toast. So help me help you. Those are the trade offers we're sending right now, right, Howard?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Listen, if you're on the losing side of the record, you need to fix things. You need to, stop looking for Mr. Right and look for Mr. Right now. Okay. That's what you're looking for. You need to look at this now from a week to week standpoint. Don't worry about rest of season. Don't even think about that. If you're 5-0, you're 4-1. Well, then now's your chance to make some moves, help the teams at the bottom, but also give yourself that bench depth that you're going to need come the playoff time. And that's what we're here to do for you guys. Load up those questions in the chat. I already see the chat bumping right now. We're going to be moving in and out of that. Coop and I are going to give you our three favorite buy lows, our three favorite sell highs. And we'll hit you guys up with all the questions that you need. Now, Coop, I didn't get a chance because I'm a very busy man, Andrew. So I didn't get a chance to watch you on the Quick Out show with John and Pemba just before. So for those who want to go back and hear, like, I'm sure, full detailed analysis behind it, you can. But for right now, Coop, let's sum it up here for everybody. Your thoughts: Justin Jefferson injury, James Conner injury, Devon Achane injury. How are you handling each one of those teams and their positions?
Yeah, I'll hit it quick. With Justin Jefferson, we know this team, I think they overpaid Josh Oliver, but regardless, they paid him, and he plays at least 35 to 50% of the snaps every week. And with guys like that, you're not taking out the running back, you're not taking out Hawkinson, so a wide receiver comes out. So the way I look at it is, we like Justin Jefferson, we like Jordan Addison before. Now, with Jefferson out, we like KJ Osborne, we like Jordan Addison. I'm not really interested in Brandon Powell or Jalen Naylor, or whoever it ends up being, because they're probably going to have to come out whenever CJ Ham comes in, whenever Josh Oliver comes in, or Johnny Munt, or whoever they want to mix and match. So I'm not too worried about the third guy, but the other two, I mean, I'm willing to trade for them. This is Will's opportunity for them. With the Cardinals, Emari Demercado, obviously the fun one to say, but Deontay Ingram actually kind of fun to say
not
too.
If you're a broadcaster.
That's right. Yeah, right. They sit there. That's like us writers, and we're like, oh, well, Kyle Juszczyk's to just go away. I thought I could get away with not learning how to spell his name, and I still just never know if I have it right. So please, man, leave us alone. But the thing is, I added to Emari Demercado. I paid up for him because you only get so many chances like this. You only get so many chances, so you got to take shots when you can. And then same thing, with Devon Chain, it's wheels up for Raheem Mostert, especially this week, Howard, against the Panthers. We've been taking advantage of that match. How many times have we taken advantage of that matchup this year? And now we're going to get it with the Dolphins, right? But Jeff Wilson, if you can slide him in an IR spot, I would do it. He's probably rostered, but he came out and said himself that he's ready to go now. And when he's cleared by them, then he'll be going. And the thing is, it was a finger injury and a rib injury. So when he's cleared, he's good. Like there's not it's not like a hamstring, right? Where there's huge re-injury chance. Like when he's cleared, he's good. So Wilson kind of interesting for a little bit.
Yeah, Wilson's going to definitely get that short yardage situation. We've seen that used in the green zone, but I don't even think it's not going to come at the expense of Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert is boom. That's RB1 material right now. And while, yes, you will see Wilson probably poach a touchdown or two here and there, it's not enough to get worked up about at all. Demercado, obviously I went after him in a couple of spots. If I didn't get him, I had a contingency pick on Keontae Ingram. Dealing with the neck injury, supposed to be able to be coming back as well. Considering he was possibly the number 2 before Demercado kind of emerged, before he got hurt, he was the number 2. Do you see him being somebody who could have value over these next couple of weeks while Connor's out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the running back is the currency of fantasy football. And I'll tell you, man, people, they don't realize how bad it's going to get with these bye weeks. They sit here and look at it. It's like, oh, Steelers and Packers, that's fine. We're going to live. Some of these weeks, man, week to week, one of the weeks, every tight end, I think week 13 is every single tight end that you care about is going on bye, right? Like there's going to be teams with 5, 6 bye weeks, right? So like, we got to be careful, man. You got to have as many viable players as possible. So, yeah, I'm fully with you that both guys should be rostered.
All right. A couple of other news and notes items here. Anthony Richardson placed on injured reserve. So, welcome to the Gardner Minshew era. You say what you want about Minshew. He's still better than either Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. We're told Mac Jones is going to be the starter in week 6. On the positive side here, Austin Eckler returns to practice. Javonte Williams was in a full practice on Tuesday. Deontay Johnson saying to reporters that he feels completely great and healthy. He's due back soon. And Travis Kelce, booyah, he's back at practice on Tuesday as well. And then for you guys, your little tight end whisperer fans out there, we know you exist. Greg Dulcich, returning from injured reserve. Want to ask you about that. I mean, come on. Adam Troutman into the end zone this past week. Yeah. And your boy, Dalton Kincaid, who a little birdie might have said that you said something on quick outs about him still being worthy of a roster spot, but concussion protocol still for your boy, Dalton Kincaid, Coop.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to put a guy like that into an IR spot than it is to hold him into a bench spot. So if I have the IR spot, I'm putting him there. But people, you can drop him if you want to. Just remember, we've seen plenty of rookies that start slow and then something changes as a catalyst. Either they pick something up or somebody gets hurt, like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Guys were getting hurt. And, for 10 weeks, Amon-Ra St. Brown was wide receiver 70. And over the final 8 weeks, he was wide receiver 4. Right? It's very difficult for a tight end to do something like that. But he doesn't need to do that to be viable at tight end. So I'm still stashing where I can, but if you got to drop him, you got to drop him. And with Greg Dulcich, I mean, I tweeted yesterday that not only you grabbing him because he's obviously going to be the pass catching option over Adam Troutman. Adam Troutman's more of a blocker. He's blocked on well over the 15% of pass plays that we like. But there's rumors that this team, if they lose again this week, which they almost certainly will versus the Chiefs, they could be part of that trade market. And we've heard rumors before the season that Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, those guys could be on the block. Whoever is still, if they do start trading pieces off, whoever's left, someone has to get the football. So if one of those wide receivers gets traded, now I'm very much in on Greg Dulcich, whereas before I really wasn't.
I got all tingly when you said Chiefs and then Cortland Sutton's name. That just kind of got, whew.
I know. Sutton,
unfortunately,
baby.
It's not the same offensive scheme as Joe Lombardi. So, I don't know if he'd see the same number of targets landing in Kansas City. All right. So there you go. A little bit of the news, the notes. We're going to talk some buy lows and sell highs, but let's jump into the chat for a few minutes here and help some people out with their fantasy football trades. We know that you guys are all working the line, working the wire to try and make things happen. But sometimes you got to go and start looking at other teams. I'll start off here. Tropics, one time. You think this trade's a good one to give Jacobs, Laporta, and Marquise Brown? Oh, Stephon Diggs, Darren Waller, JT, Jonathan Taylor, and Drake London.
No. But here's the thing.
Shit.
Yeah, here's the thing, dude. You're trading away a couple of my favorite players for a couple of my favorite players here. If I think in 10-man teams, in 10-man leagues, I usually am on the side where you're consolidating, where you're getting the better options. But if Drake London goes right into your lineup and it's a 3 wide receiver league, I think I would take the bottom one. The thing is, if Drake London is going to be your wide receiver 4 or 5 and he's not even in your lineup, then just keep what you have, because Jacobs is awesome, Laporta is awesome, and Marquise Brown, he's the top option for a team. Yeah, he's becoming awesome, right? So, yeah, but that's a crazy trade, man. That's a crazy trade. I would love to know the narrative as to why that is happening. It's like,
which is a very important thing, and I think a lot of people are trying to figure that out. Like, what's the purpose of a trade? Like, why are you doing it? What exactly are you trying to accomplish with this? Because I'm looking at this trade. It's a potential upgrade at running back, but we got to see Jonathan Taylor, run for the Colts. We already know that Jacobs gets the volume. It's a downgrade at tight end, in my opinion, going from Laporta to Waller, but it's a huge upgrade going from Marquise Brown to Diggs.
Yeah.
Huge upgrade there. So potential wash at running back, slight downgrade there at tight end, big upgrade at wide receiver, and you're getting a depth piece there in Drake London. So,
folks, if possible, let us know your record. Let us know your record, because if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm 5-0, right? Then I look at it and I'm like, okay, you can wait for JT to get ramped up, right? Like, this is kind of so try and let us know your record if possible too. It's easy enough to say, hey, I'm 1-4, and then that'll give us a little context, because especially right now, like if you're 1-4, 0-5, and you got guys going on bye weeks, could be worth it to just a little extra incentive to make a move.
South SCO 650, giving you everything that you want here, Coop.
Good.
Doesn't know if he's reaching early, just traded for Tyreek Hill last week, wants to know if he should trade for Tua. If so, what would be a fair package? The Tua owner has Jalen Hurts. All right. Okay. So you don't have to give back a QB. I mean, you could hand back Geno Smith. His roster right above it. His record is 2-3, 14 team, half point PPR. He's got Geno, he's got Chase, he's got DJ Moore, Kyron Williams, Breece Hall. I mean,
this is how you do it, South. Just for folks, take notes, dude. Southco, this format, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know if he needs to make this deal. Like, I know that the allure of the Tua Tyreek situation is great. It's fantastic. But I mean, I think Geno is still a serviceable QB that you don't have to hand anything over. Because as far as like even looking at his bench, it's like Kendry Miller and Rondale Moore are probably the two guys that I'm like, yeah, go ahead and deal with those. But that dude's not trading.
No, that's what I'm saying. Guys. Yeah. Well, so I think that's the way I look at it. If you can get away, like you're not really deep enough to trade anyone from your lineup. So if you can get away with trading anyone from your bench plus Geno for Tua, except JT, then I would do it. Like, I mean, he's not trading you for Jordan Mason, but like, like I love Rashee Rice, but I would I think Tua is a Rashee Rice away from Geno, right? So I think I would do that.
Yeah, I would try to hold on to Charbonnet too. I actually just
14-team league.
Yeah, 14-team league. Kenneth Walker's great. I love him, but he does deal with soft tissue injuries throughout his, even before the big knee injury, he was dealing with that. I just, Charbonnet is a guy who I don't want to let go. I mean, listen, in this running back economy is just an absolute disaster. For those of you who listen to Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, you're going to want to hear my love letter today. That's all I'm going to say.
5 o'clock, 5 to 7 Eastern time, folks. Tune in.
Channel 87. What's up, Herms? Good to see you. Southsco says, run the likes up. What's good? I'll tell you what's good is you guys running the likes up there. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Give it to me here. All right. Oprah, if you go on IR, everybody's on IR. Yeah,
You're on IR. And you're on
you're
IR.
on IR.
Look on everybody. Look under your seat. It's a hamstring injury.
I'm on.
I'm on IR.
That was good. That was good. See, look at that, Coop. You're out funnying me today too.
Just needed a day off, dude. No one out funnies the bender. No one out funnies the bender. We just try and keep up.
I'm just gonna sit here and read the commentary and just leave it all to you, buddy. All right, let's see. Chris Alvis, what's going on, Chris? Nice regular who's been in here. I see him in the chat all the time now. Offered Pittman, Joe Mixon, and Russell Wilson for Diggs and Jameis Winston and got turned down.
I love that. You try and throw like the fake name in there, the Jameis Winston in there, where you're like, I just throw junk in there to try and make the trade easier, and you still can't even get away with it. I mean, you got to try. But I still like Pittman a lot, honestly.
I probably like him more with Gardner Minshew than I did with
I was going to say
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, it's not even. Got to remember, it's not even just a lateral move. Like same thing with a lot of these young QBs. Like if Bryce Young were to get hurt, I mean that was great for Thielen. It was great for Miles Sanders. Got 9 targets in that game. So like, yeah, dude, it's not that bad. Minshew's a beast. I'll
shout out to the better boss who preached Taylor Heineke stashing. Right? I mean, listen, I'll just say this: with Desmond Ridder throwing for 329 yards and a touchdown. I'm guessing that the overconfidence is going to happen, and we're going to start seeing some performances from him, which could open up. Heineke comes in, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. I won't say Van Jefferson.
You think Ritter's been shadowboxing in the mirror after that game? He's like, look at us, dude. Tit for tat. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. I'd love to see the flip there. And get Heineke in there. Like, and that's why I'm stashing Pitts, because if the knee gets better and the quarterback changes, every other stat we care about is in the green for Kyle Pitts. It's just, target share, route participation, the deal. ADOT, the highest ADOT wide receiver, highest ADOT tight end in the league. His wide receiver snap rate is second only to Mike Gesicki. Like every behind the scenes stat is good. It's just he's got a hurt knee and his quarterback sucks. So you got to stash those guys just in case, man. Just in case.
Just Kincaid, did you just say?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were trying to slide that name in by us again.
No. Just
bad enough you're preaching Kyle Pitts. Now you're talking dog. Kincaid.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a real example. 2020, the numbers looked exactly the same for Logan Thomas. And I was telling everybody, I'm like, this guy, he's playing wide receiver. He's the guy you want to stash. And everyone, through 6 weeks, he was tight end 26 in fantasy football. And I was like, look, you got to stash him because the usage is there. And then the quarterback changed. And they switched over to, I forget who got hurt. I think it was RG3 got hurt. And they switched over to Heineke. And he was great. Or it was Alex Smith or somebody. But the quarterback changed, and then he was awesome.
I think it was more Alex Smith than it was RG3. I think the gray matter's kind of seeping together for you there.
Might be, yeah. So whoever got hurt, the next quarterback came in, and the usage did not change one bit, but the quarterback changed, and he finished as tight end 4. So that's the possibility. All
right. Herms wants to know, curious on your thoughts on this one here. PPR Superflex Dynasty. First place, really gunning for it. David Montgomery is on the block. What kind of a rookie pick value would be fair to send?
First round pick. I would send my first. If you're in first place, then your first pick is going to be at the back end of the first round. We overvalue these picks. The hit rate at best for rookies is 50%. Unless you have a Bijan in the draft or a Saquon Barkley where the individual hit rates have to be adjusted. In general, hit rates are at best 50% for rookie picks. I'll take David Montgomery all day long for first. You might have to give up more than that. So if it's a first and a third, done. First and second, now you kind of turn to the guy and be like, hey, man, you're asking for my whole draft for this guy. So just try and get away with it for first. But I would do that, Howard. What do you think? First round pick for David Montgomery?
Absolutely. Listen, I've always been, when it comes to Dynasty, and I don't like to play in Dynasty. I play in a couple of them there, but I see it every year. Win now with an eye for the future. Like you can do it that way. People put so much value on draft picks and rookies and things like that they always overlook talent. So if you have the opportunity to win this year, and adding a piece like David Montgomery, lock that sucker down.
Yeah. It's
Right?
so
Like
random.
that's just in your lineup every single week without even thinking about it.
Right. And there's still luck involved to some degree. So anytime you can put your name on the trophy and the money in your pocket, go for it. And I've seen so many of these leagues fold that I never, dude, forget productive struggle or whatever people want. I do, here's what I do. I'm good at this. So I do productive. Like I just try and win, dude. Like what is this whole losing on purpose thing? It feels crazy to me. Has anyone ever really actually tanked for like 4 years and then won 3 years in a row? That's not how it works.
Right?
Dude.
It doesn't. No, because half the league's already quit and there's turnover and
Right. Yeah.
orphan teams and all the other nonsense.
Yeah.
Priceless Pigeon says just went through with that trade for Carr, Downs, and Jonnu.
We talked about that on the last show. Yeah, we like that deal. He also let us know, Howard, that Priceless Pigeon was taken. So he's doing his best with Prickless Pigeon. It is Priceless Pigeon. We had a chuckle about that on the show before.
Anfo wants to know, I traded Herbert and Deontay Johnson for Stevenson. So I'm going to assume it's Khalil and not Justin.
Yeah.
Because if it were Justin, then no, it's no good. But Herbert and Deontay Johnson for Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, Herbert's out for multiple weeks. Ramondre is just not in a good spot. I mean, I don't love the only player I like in this group here is Deontay Johnson. I assume he'll be back at some point.
Yeah. Dude, the funny thing with Deontay Johnson, I noticed that whenever I type his name on my phone, it always auto corrects it, but it never auto corrects it to another real word. Like it just auto corrects it into like gibberish, just like that. Have you noticed that? Like at least change it to donate, right? My phone does the same thing. Like it just turns it into even more gibberish. But yeah, I think I do like the trade because, well, it depends. If it's full PPR, I think I would rather have the Herbert and Deontay Johnson. But in half PPR, I mean, Stevenson's the best player in the trade, I think.
Is he though?
I don't know, actually.
That
I don't
offense
know.
is terrible.
Yeah. Deontay Johnson, I'm excited for him to be back. I need him to be the target monster he is. I don't even care if he has 15 drops or whatever he usually does. I need him in some spots where I am.
I got what is that? Gabe Rye? I think it's Gabery.
I said Gabery, but let us know.
Gabery, what's going on? Thoughts on Henry rest of season. So let's talk about trade value of Derrick Henry. He's obviously got him. And he's sitting there. He's got Spears who's outscoring him. What's your take on the trade value of Derrick Henry? Because I'll just throw this out there. Bowden sat there yesterday talking about him hearing rumors of Derrick Henry possibly being on the trade block.
Yeah.
So boom.
Yeah. Now that's good for his value, if you ask me, right? Like if a team picks up Derrick Henry, then he's at, especially if it's a good team. But I'll tell you, on this show, we're going to give you guys some buy low targets and some sell high targets. Derrick Henry is actually one of my sell high targets. So I'll give it to you right now in advance. We're going to do some more later, so definitely stay tuned for that. But Derrick Henry is a guy that I look at it, and especially if it's your hometown league or your work league or your casual leagues, certain guys with name value, you're still going to get full price or damn near full price. And with Derrick Henry, for the first time ever, we're seeing this team, they actually hit on a pick on a player that they like to do what Dion Lewis was originally supposed to do. When, remember when Rabel came over, he brought Dion Lewis and he was like, hey, this is going to be the rundown. This is going to be the pass down guy. It never panned out. Now they're doing it. And in certain weeks with bad game scripts, we're seeing Tajae Spears play more than Henry. And as long as Tannehill is your quarterback, you're going to have bad game scripts at times. So I think Henry's a good candidate to sell, not because I think he's a bad player anymore, but his name value says top 10, top 5, even RB, whereas I'm not sure he is from week to week. Obviously, he's going to have big weeks, but I think there's going to be some bad weeks too. So if you can take Henry with another player and sell him upward for a sure thing, I would do that.
All right. Better Boss wants to know if it's a good time to buy low on Najee Harris. Obviously, the Steelers are on a bye this week. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I was sitting there thinking about we were going to be like, buy low, sell high. Is this a time to buy low on Najee? I just think that this offense is just a hot mess right now. And I don't necessarily know if Mike Tomlin's he's not going to fire Matt Canada in the middle of the season. He's not going to do it.
No way.
Canada wasn't Canada He was like the head of a program at South Carolina. Didn't he like give Tomlin's kid like a full
Yeah,
ride?
I think there's something going on there, man.
There's something there.
Did you
There genuinely is. Gave Tomlin's kid a full ride. So, I mean, if there's going to be a change at offensive coordinator, it's not coming in season though. That's just not the Steelers' MO.
Did you see? And I know Herms is a fan of the Steelers and the Penguins. Did you see the Penguins game last night, or what happened? A full on fire Matt Canada chant broke out.
Oh yeah,
at the
I
Penguins
did see
game.
that.
Yeah. Hey, hockey's back, baby. Shout out Bees. Let's go.
So you're not buying low on Najee, is what you're saying.
So there's one specific circumstance where I would. Where if you can go to, if the team that has Najee is not doing well, and in most cases they're probably not, if they're like 1-4 or 0-5, and you can look at your bench and say, this player on my bench would go right into this guy's lineup and help him win this week, and you can get away with that, then I would go for it. And I would straight up tell that person that. I would say, hey man, you need to win this week. Najee's not helping you. I got so-and-so, Marquise Brown sitting here right on my bench, and he'll go directly into your lineup, then do it. But I'm not sure I'd trade Marquise Brown for Najee Harris, but you know the players we're talking about. The guys
you might need to get like a little sweetener on that one.
Yeah, the guy, you know the guys we're talking about, though. Guys that like you're never going to use, and you might use Najee. I mean, running backs, man, they're so valuable, even the bad ones. Even the bad ones, if they play.
Yeah. Well, all right. Mile High Luke in the house. Happy Wednesday to you too.
What up, dog?
Wednesday. Yeah, let's go Dulcich chant from Britt Flynn.
There it is.
Right. She's still recovering from Chris Kuroda cracking on her Treylon Burks call on 2 weeks ago, getting buzzed there. But Graham Edwards in the house here. Always a great show, guys. Thanks so much, Graham. That's a lineup question, Graham. Graham, what are you doing with the lineup question here today?
We'll answer
Deebo Samuel, DeAndre Hopkins, or Michael Pittman? You have a lean for him. We won't give him the final answer. What's your lean?
Lineup questions tomorrow, guys. I mean, we don't know what's going on with Javonte Williams. All these guys are in concussion protocol. It's so hard for us to give you an answer on some of these guys. My lean, though, is to just start Deebo Samuel.
That's my lean as well.
My lean is to do a 2-for-1 trade for like Devontae Adams, or like with two of those guys, you can get anybody in the league. I feel like, right? Just go to somebody.
Able to.
Yeah, go to.
I would legit do Deebo and Pittman for Tyreek.
Yeah. Dude.
I mean, if I were the Deebo Pittman owner, if I were the Tyreek owner, I'd be like, let me.
But if you're only wide receiver, if you have Tyreek and everyone else stinks, then hey, that works. So I would do that. Be like, hey, I got too many good players. Come and get them.
Tringley said somebody offered me Calvin Ridley, Hollywood Brown, and I'm assuming that's Joshua Kelly for Puka Nacua and Travis Etienne. Well, see, Tingley, welcome to the club of having somebody throw junk at you and think that just because it's a 3 for 2 that it's going to be okay.
Yeah, keep Puka and Etienne. My goodness.
Seriously.
Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp can survive at the same time. And dude, the crazy thing is the Rams actually only ran like 58 plays. There was like a below average number of offensive plays in that game. So what you saw from Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, I see no reason why they can't come out and do that again this week.
I don't see a reason why they can't either. I think, it's kind of funny. I look at the way that the Rams are kind of set up right now, and I feel like the loss is going to happen for Tyler Higbee, because you've got Atwell and you've got Puka and you've got Kupp. So I think Higbee kind of suffers on targets. I also think we see fewer targets to Kyren Williams, which kind of, hurts his value. I mean, he's still a great, running back to have because they use him for everything. But, you might want to lower those expectations, especially if Puka and Cooper Kupp are going to, see targets like that.
It would be crazy if the Rams just had the most do-nothing offseason that any team's ever had, and then at the deadline, they actually become buyers. Cooper Kupp and Stafford come back, and then they just buy people at the deadline and compete again. I mean,
dude, why wouldn't they right now? Fix that offensive line. Get yourself like a good, another solid pass rusher.
Yeah, I mean, look around, dude. The Patriots. I don't know if the Patriots will ever sell because their coach is the GM too, which is a bad idea. But like I mean, Trent Brown could be available. They don't like Trent Brown. They put him on. They have all these weird stuff in his contract because they clearly don't trust him. I mean, that guy could be available. The Broncos could be selling. Bowles could be available. Garrett Bowles could be available. I mean, you could. It's not crazy. It's not crazy.
GT Sport says, how do you guys feel about Jeff Wilson and Tajae Spears? Pick one of them out. Pick one of the two. All right. Well, I mean, listen, I'll say it flat out. If you need value right now, because Tajae Spears is one of my buy low players. All right. You gave your sell high on Derrick Henry. I'm going to Tajae Spears as my buy low. Because I do think, I mean, he's emerging, but until he's never going to have that value unless Derrick Henry either gets hurt or gets traded. So you're not going to have to pay an arm and a leg for that. And you can end up, doing it. But if Derrick Henry really is on the trade block, then Tajae Spears does seem to pop. So if you're 5-0, 4-1, yeah, I'm buying low on Tajae Spears. I'm trying to feed them, be like, okay, you need a wide receiver too here, dude. So let me give you this guy who happens to be his wide receiver 6, and he turns around and he takes Tajae Spears off your hand. If you're 5-0, 4-1, that's the move that you want to do. Now, if you need somebody for right now, that's Jeff Wilson. He's going to get activated off of IR. He's going to be involved in this. Achan he's out. I think they put him on IR officially, right? So out for at least 4 weeks. So you get some work there from Wilson, but Spears is the longer term play.
Right. And I'll tell you honestly, with Spears too, like people, the Twitter analytics guys, they loved Tony Pollard for years. And now Jaylen Warren's their new guy. And they love Jaylen Warren and the metrics and blah, blah, blah. But what exactly does Jaylen Warren do that Tajae Spears isn't doing right now? It's like the same role, right? I mean, like when the run's not working, they throw the pass guy in there, and Tajae Spears looked pretty good. So, like for the people that love Jaylen Warren, why wouldn't they also like Tajae Spears? But I don't hear anything about it except from Howard Bender, who knows what he's doing here. So, I'm in, man. I'm in on the Spears game.
On the Spears game. All right, we'll get back to the chat in just a second. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Always a great time playing over at Underdog. I play the pick'em contests all the time. I know that, Impemba's in on all their drafts and things like that they have running there. Get over to Underdog. Here's the thing right now. So go to fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Use the promo code ALARM. First time depositors, here you go. $500, up to $500. Underdog's going to do it. Yeah. See, they had this little deal going like last week for it. This week, they've already told us that they're going to extend it for the week. So fantasyalarm.com/underdog, promo code ALARM. And what it'll do is first time deposit, they'll match you up to $500. The pick'em contest stuff is fantastic. Your gimme for this week is Patrick Mahomes, higher or lower than half a total yard on Thursday night. So clearly you go higher with that. Their 100K Sunday player this week is Cooper Kupp, 89.5 total yards. Just pick higher or lower on that. I'm sure he'll see 21 targets and come out with 17 catches for 88 yards.
You don't say that.
I'm just kidding. Listen, how do you not go higher for him there?
I love that one. I love that, Howard. In fact, from you and me each make a pick each week, Cooper Kupp was my pick until I realized he was the Sunday one. So I had to go and find another one. But like the Rams are 2-3, so they're not holding anything back. Cooper Kupp, much higher.
Who else you got? All right. So whether you're going to use Patrick Mahomes or whether you're going to use Cooper Kupp, because you can't use them both in the same contest. But whichever one you pick, let's give them each a pick and help them out with a 3-leg contest.
Yeah. So for me, for this one, why don't we do this, Howard? Tomorrow we'll come back and do a little Thursday maybe to go with Patrick Mahomes. Sure. We'll do Sunday. Cooper Kupp, we're going higher. Last week the Nico Collins lower one worked, but the tackle monster let us down by 1 tackle. The tackle monster, Cameron Curl, only 7. So sorry, guys. He needed 8 for that one. So that's the first time the tackle monsters let us down. But I'm going with, we alluded to this situation earlier. Michael Pittman this week has a primo matchup. He said it only 64.5. I'm going higher on that because I think that he'd be set at 64.5 or around that anyway if Anthony Richardson was in. And you and I both agree, and John and Pemba, the QB Whisperer, also agrees that this is an upgrade. That this is an upgrade for the pass catchers, not in general for the offense. Obviously, he doesn't bring the rushing element, but that's good for the pass catchers. So I think Michael Pittman is going to shine here. And this is a guy that, going back to last year, has led the league in snap percentage. Like, the one thing this dude doesn't come out. They play 84 snaps, he plays 84. He's playing over 99% of the snaps this year, which is obviously number one for wide receivers. So Michael Pittman, you can depend on him to be out there, and I think he easily goes higher on that 64.5. Howard, who do you got for this one?
You know what? All right, I'm going to go to a game that I think is going to end up popping off that, again, I don't understand why Vegas has a 45.5 over under on this line here, but this Seattle Bengals game to me profiles like a banana cakes kind of shootout. But I'll tell you what, Kenneth Walker, 66.5 rushing yards. The Bengals give up the second most rushing yards per game right now. I think it's like 155 or 154. Something like that. They've given up like 7 rushing touchdowns on the year, I think it was. Is that am I off on that number, Coop?
No, that's right. That's right. I was just
there. Okay, so there you go. So 7 rushing touchdowns, and then on top of that, they give up like the 4th or 5th most fantasy points per game to the running back position. So the Bengals don't stop the run very well. And the only reason that they, their secondary, when it gets tested, is when if it becomes some sort of a shootout. So I got to tell you, man, Seattle, Pete Carroll loves running the football. Shane Waldron allows, Pete Carroll to dictate that to him and says, okay, fine. As long as I can still pass as much as I want, we will happily run the football. Kenneth Walker, higher than 66.5 rushing yards against the Bengals this week.
Exactly, man. Yeah, I mean, the defense is reeling for the Bengals. They lost. We talk about it, man. That they lose both safeties, and people are like, "Oh yeah, they're still going to be good." I mean, Von Bell, the strong safety, is routinely 100 tackle a year type guy, 90, 100 tackles. You lose a guy like that, man. There's a lot of room for activity over the middle there. So I'm in, man. Let's lock that in.
All right. You want to go back to Chad? You want to give us our top 3 buy low players?
Let's
you're such a
I
man
love
of
the people. Let's hit the chat, dude. Come on, let's hit the chat. Well, we'll hit a few and then
I'll tell you what, rapid fire. Give me top 3 buy low players right now.
My top 3 buy low players. I'm going out and buying Jalen Waddle because they are highly consolidated snap wise. Just like you see with Debo and Ayuk, it's the same offense. It's just Waddle hasn't really hit his spots yet. So I'm in on Waddle. I'm buying Darren Waller. This week might have hurt the buy low opportunity, but like if you look at the behind the scenes numbers, it's all there. The targets are there. He's technically tight end 9. I don't know why everyone's like telling me they're dropping him and acting like the world's on fire. Like I'll take Darren Waller and I'll just start him rest of the season, as long as Daniel Jones doesn't miss time with the neck, but whatever. And then the other one is this is a delayed buy low, Howard. It's Nico Collins is who I'm going to buy, but I'm not going to buy him until after this week. We told you he was going to struggle against AJ Terrell. He did. He only had like 33 yards. He's got Marshawn Lattimore this week. And when he struggles against Marshawn Lattimore, folks are going to think that it's over and that he was a fraud. No. He's going to be fine. Everything we saw in the first few weeks in good matchups, he's got plenty of good matchups left. So I'm going to hopefully try and buy a Nico Collins from a panicking owner now, or if you can get him for cheap, do it now and just know that this is a bad week to start him. But Nico Collins, I believe in him rest of the season once he gets through this tough stretch.
All right, my top 3 buy low players. I gave you Tajae Spears earlier in the show. I definitely think it's a long-term move. There's definite potential of Derrick Henry getting traded, and Spears would end up being that lead back in that Tennessee offense if Henry either gets hurt or traded. So it's a long-term play again. Other buy lows here, Devonta Smith. While everybody's sitting there oohing and ahhing over A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert's game last week, and probably Dallas Goedert's game this week too, Devonta Smith is going to become the squeaky wheel, and he's going to go back to a lot more targets. And then a little further on down the road, also, I like Amari Cooper as a buy low. Point out the fact that Deshaun Watson's not back at practice. Point out the fact that Amari Cooper didn't do squad douche with the backup QB last week. Because listen, Watson's not going away forever. He's going to come back, and we're going to be fine. Just get Amari Cooper, have him as like a throw-in, right? Just, offer that, that like have somebody give you a 2-for-1 and make that second one be Amari Cooper.
Right. Not to mention, already had his bye week, so you don't have to worry about that.
Ooh.
Free game.
Like that.
Extra. I mean, he's going to play an extra game compared to virtually every team. So, hey, why not?
All right, man of the people, here we go.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah. What do we got? What do you guys got?
Luke. Smoke him if you got him. Half-point PPR. Need to deal away David Montgomery. The guy has Keenan Allen, Nico Collins, Amari Cooper, and Christian Watson. I mean, Keenan Allen is the only acceptable name if I'm trading David Montgomery.
David Montgomery, man. This is the crazy part, is that in the game that David Montgomery missed, Jared Goff had a QB sneak touchdown. And Goff actually has 2 QB sneak touchdowns that David Montgomery could have even more touchdowns than he has. Like we said that, Jamal Williams scored 17 touchdowns and David Montgomery won't. Well, he absolutely can. So, yeah, if you're going to do 1-for-1, it has to be Keenan Allen. And I would only do a 2-for-1 if Amari was involved. If I was getting Amari, because I still believe in Amari more than the other guys there. So if you're going to take 2 of those guys, it has to be Nico and Amari or Amari and Watson. I wouldn't take Nico and Watson from Monty. I'd just keep Monty. He's awesome.
Keep Monty. He's awesome. I like that. Or just go shop him to somebody else who's willing to give you, a wide receiver better than Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
which I think is definitely possible.
I would definitely I would take Keenan Allen though. Keenan Allen's great.
I would take him too.
Player had his bye week, yeah. So see if you can do Keenan Allen, man.
Southsco, here's how buried we are in questions right now, Coop. We're already at Southsco here saying that Tua and Hurts have the same bye week. That's why he's looking to make the trade for him. But that doesn't it doesn't affect you. He needs to get rid of him, right? But you don't have to make that deal. True. that's the whole thing. Yeah, you want to trade for him because that's what it is, that this guy's going to have to give him up or whatever, because he's not going to end up with, 2 guys with the same bye week. It doesn't help him. I mean, swap, Geno and some low-end player for Tua, just flat out.
Geno and Rondell Moore, do it.
Yeah, there you go. Geno and Rondell Moore. Maybe that'll make it happen. Chris Alvis says, wish my league valued Rashee Rice. Why? Just enjoy him.
Okay.
Enjoy him.
Breakout potential.
Pick one running back. Oh, this is a
start sit.
I wonder if this is this waivers or is this actually a start sit? Either way, Sanders, Foreman / Roshan or Demercado. So we are looking at, we can consider this a possible waiver question. Right. If you were to rank these guys, given the fact that Sanders is having so many issues right now, Demercado we saw is now going to be potentially the lead back there in Arizona. And then Foreman, Roshan, we'll have to see what the split is there if Roshan gets clear from concussion protocol.
Yeah, and this is why if it's a lineup question, we'd rather you ask tomorrow, just because we'll know if Roshan is in concussion protocol on Thursday. If he is, the odds of him playing absolutely plummet. Today, he's in concussion protocol. So rest of season, I still have Sanders ahead of those guys. But for this week, I would start Demercado, I think.
All right. Mile High Luke says, Superflex FFPC Dynasty.
Yeah, FFPC.
Middle of the pack, need to make a move. Watson and Daniel Jones, Connor, Hubbard, Barkley, Hill, Hopkins, KJ, I'm assuming that's Osborne, Samuel, Zay, JSN, Mims, Waller, McBride, Ertz. Yeah.
Which way are you going? Are you going making a move for this year or for later?
Right?
Like if you're
trying to win now, you got to upgrade that QB situation.
And running back.
Yeah.
You're looking good at wide receiver. I mean, if you're trying to win now, then trade your firsts for a QB or trade your picks for a QB or running back. If you're blowing it up, then the guy to trade is DeAndre Hopkins because he looked awesome last week and he's over 30.
All right. Rod Elliott's in the house here. Hey, guys, PPR League. My wide receivers are Amon-Ra, Devonta, Ridley, D-Hop, Palmer, and Osborne. Running backs are Brees, Javonte, JT, Sanders, Moss, and Ford. Would you trade Ridley and Ford for Gainwell and JJ?
Depends on your record, Rod. But if you have at least 3 wins, I'll trade for JJ. Go big, dude. Try and win the league.
Yeah.
Shoot, I would definitely do that actually.
Yeah. If you're 3-2, 4-1, or 5-0, go ahead and make.
You can lose a game or two if you have to. But the thing is, you're starting Moss right now. You're starting Brees and Moss. Sorry, you're starting Brees and Ford. Like you're trading Ford away, but you're starting Brees and Ford this week. So if you're like 1-4, you have to keep your best players to start right now. But down the road, we like Javonte, JT better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, down the road.
Yeah, do it up.
Down the road. Ethan Batterman's here. Half point PPR deep league. I was offered Salvan Ahmed and Kendry Miller for Rashad Penny. I was holding out for Penny trade, but do I take on those two or keep Penny and add Deonta Foreman? I think I'm keeping Penny and adding Foreman.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Salvan Ahmed. Jeff Wilson's going to be back soon. Jeff Wilson told us that the moment he's back, he's a full go. And I think he's going to be back soon.
And with teams struggling at running back right now, did the Eagles make a trade? Did they deal Rashad Penny somewhere? I feel like they need to.
Right. Wait, with Salvan Ahmed and Kendry Miller, like you have Jeff Wilson coming back and you have Jamal Williams coming back. Those are expiring assets. Don't take those players from him. Yeah. Keep the players you have.
12 teams, Superflex Keeper. This is for Rex Timotheus. Superflex Keeper League. Every team has at least 3 QBs rostered. How do you feel about trading away Bryce Young and a 14th round keeper and a 7th for a 2024 third rounder?
No chance, dude. Quarterbacks are too valuable. And we don't know what Bryce Young is yet. Do not trade him for a third.
Yeah, no, do not do that. A guy in my league tanked for the Saquon year. He's been in last place ever since. He pays up though.
For real though, yeah, that was a good. I love having those guys in the league, dude. You know,
right? Traded Calvin Ridley for CeeDee Lamb. I like that. It's a nice trade. Yeah, it's a nice deal. Job. John Green. Tomorrow is the lineup decision question here, guys. We're talking trades. So we're gonna avoid those lineups. Just again, show up here, same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Andrew Cooper, Howard Bender, and it's all lineup talk. Today we're talking trades here. Alex Flores wants to know: should I trade Bijan for Jacobs and Gabe Davis? See, I think no, because I think Gabe Davis is a farce right now. I think this is he's got touchdowns now early in the season. Everybody's like, oh, what do you mean he's not consistent? Look at that. He's consistently getting into the. I am not buying it yet. I'm not buying it.
No way. No chance, man. That's the thing. Like he's targets are what's sustainable. What is he? Wide receiver in total targets in the year. He's wide receiver 48 is where he's at. So no, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Bijan's too much fun.
Bijan's way too much fun. They'll figure it out in Atlanta. If they don't, I'm going to just fly down there myself and slap Arthur Smith in the head.
Please do.
Oh, goodness. 12 teams. What's up? Graham Edwards here. 12 teams. Graham. He's 3-2. Do I trade Aaron Jones and Michael Pittman for Breece Hall and Christian Kirk?
At 3-2, I'm on board with that, man. Because Aaron Jones is banged up and they're on bye this week.
Right. Yeah.
So you got to win, man. You got to play to win when you're 3-2.
Yep, we'd make that deal. Roberto Perez wants to know: would y'all accept Devonta Smith for Breece Hall? Devonta would move into my wide receiver 3 with a Hurts stack, Pollard RB1, no other RB really with Achane going down. So then. Why would you trade Breece Hall for Devonta Smith if you don't have an RB2?
That's the thing. That trade, I think that trade is exactly fair. But with what you have, you'd rather have Brees Hall. So stick with Hall.
Yeah. Scamper's in the house.
Scamp.
Crying about losing Justin Jefferson.
Oh man.
RB2 is Gus P. Ryan. Would you trade away Jameson Williams for Mostert?
Immediately.
Yes.
And I love Jameson Williams. I am the one defending Jameson Williams, but
Even in Dynasty.
Raheem Mostert might score 50 points this week.
Scampers.
Do it.
Let's see. Bring out the glasses. Here we go. If you're 3-2 with Jettas and Cup, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Little wide receiver depth and your RB starters
gang.
are K9, Brian Robinson, and Aaron Jones. Do you stay with the team? Oh shit. Where are my glasses?
You got to get those Twitch glasses out, brother. All right. So 3-2 with Jettas and Cup, little wide receiver depth, and your RBs are K9, Brian Robinson, and Aaron Jones. Yeah, I'm not trading away Justin Jefferson, dude. I would rather lose trying to build a super team down the stretch here with Jefferson and Cup than blow it up and scrap. If you lose your next 2 or 3 games, then you do it, but not at 3-2. At 3-2, I sit there and I say, oh my God, Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp, and Justin Jefferson might come back and be Justin Jefferson. Whew. So stick with it, man. Stick with that, dude. That's the way to play.
I got these to outclass you.
What you got there?
Come on, man.
Unbelievable,
shades, baby.
Dude.
Come on.
Damn, bro. The reds of the Twitch glasses, at the Miami flu glasses here.
Oh, I had to step up my game here. I thought these would do just fine.
Those are nice, man.
Thank you very much.
The king. Those are nice, dude.
Should I drop Khalil Herbert for Roschon Johnson? Don't need him now, but is it worth it rest of season?
Man, that's tough, but I think I would, because Khalil's going to miss 4 games, man. It's such a small sample size game that I don't even know, man. You don't have an IR spot. If you don't have IR spots in that league, no one else is going to pick Khalil Herbert up. So I think I would do it. What do you think, Howard?
Yeah, that's if there are no IR spots, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. My other wide receivers. How low is low for Najee? I wouldn't give Sam Howell for him. Oh.
In a single QB league? Come on,
now. Man. Come on. Najee's mom watches this show.
That's unbelievable. Sorry, Miss Harris. Sorry, Miss Harris. Woo.
Yeah. Good heavens. All right. Well, before we kind of sign off here, because we're running short on time here, Coop. Rapid fire for me. Your top 3 sell high players. You've already given us one, but keep going.
I noticed you paused right before the hockey talk in the chat there, dude. We got Dustin with hockey talk. Let's go Sharks. The people want hockey, but now I'll give you. So these are our sell highs, man. I gave you Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, you're selling on name value. Here's another one we're selling on name value. It's George Kittle. And he just had the quote-unquote big game, but he only got 3 targets here. They clearly – the days of him being a focal point are gone. The days of him breaking off monster plays potentially gone too. I mean, you got to remember that one of the touchdowns he had was on a trick play that didn't really take too much from him. It was like a double flea flicker, right? Like he was just open by the nature of the play design. But they have Ayuk, they have Debo, they have CMC. If you could take Kittle plus something and trade him up for a Kelsey or for a Mark Andrews or for a Laporta or anybody that we truly, truly trust from week to week, I would do that. The other guy that I'm willing to sell here is Brian Robinson. And people might consider that blasphemy because of how well he's played. But now I've seen it twice where when the Commanders get their back against the ropes, Antonio Gibson plays in the 2-minute drill. And he gets all those snaps because you can't sub a guy out. You have to know all the audibles. You have to know all the schemes. And Gibson has that role. And in 2 games now, he's played more snaps than Robinson when this team is losing. And this Commanders team has a pretty tough schedule, dude. They still play the Eagles. They play the Cowboys. There's probably going to be a lot of games where Brian Robinson is not as trustworthy as we think. I look at it and say, okay, people see him as an RB1. I think he's more of an RB2. So if I can move him, I'm going to.
All right. Those are Andrew Cooper's top 3 sell highs. My top 3 sell highs for right now. Rachaad White, I just don't believe in the offensive line. I don't believe in the system. And you know what? Baker Mayfield sitting there slinging the rock. There's just not going to be enough down the road here for Rachaad White. Dallas Goedert coming off of a huge week. I love Dallas Goedert, but just sell off on the name alone. That's going to help you get boosted in at the tight end position. You're not going to see the consistency that you want. It's AJ Brown, it's Devonta Smith, and it's a lot of DeAndre Swift. So Goddard, I'm selling. And then Gabe Davis, I said it earlier in the show. I just don't believe in this consistency. He doesn't see enough targets in order to really sustain this kind of touchdown production. I don't see that happening. Sell high right there. Now, Coop, now I'm going to teach you the real meaning of the word rapid fire. I don't want any analysis. I want to know yes or no on whether or not to do these trades. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Michael Charles says full point PPR. He's 3-2. Trade away Ramondre, Terry McLaurin, Tyler Lockett for Justin Jefferson and Jerick McKinnon.
Based on your lineup, yes. You have plenty of guys to start. Go big. He's got Waddle. Yeah. Sorry. Rapid fire. Yes.
All right. Here we go. This is Raptor or something like that. I can't see. I can't see.
Raptor.
With my glasses.
Yeah, it's even harder with the Twitch glasses on, but shout out Twitch.
Here we go. I'd be giving Kenneth Walker, Mike Evans, and Jackson Smith-Njigba to receive Derrick Henry, Tajae Spears, and Calvin Ridley.
Keep Walker and Evans. Well, Evans is going to go ham this week. Great matchup.
Should I trade Adam Thielen and Rachaad White for Raheem Mostert and Cortland Sutton?
Yes.
4-team best ball question here with Justin Jefferson and Achane out for the bit. Which two should I pick up on waivers? Addison, Moore, Monty.
Oh my God. DJ Moore and Monty. DJ Moore is made for best ball right now.
Yep. 100%. Another PPR league. Wide receivers are DJ Moore, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman, Amon-Ra, Debo, Jacoby, running backs, Jacobs, Monty, Brees, and Ford. What should I be looking for in a stud if I were to target AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill? What's fair?
I think what's fair is take DJ Moore, who can be inconsistent, and throw him with Pittman or Jacoby. Like you can't. I'm not going to do a 2-for-1 that includes Lamb or Amon-Ra St. Brown or even Debo. But if you can, or maybe Debo, yeah. If any 2-for-1 that doesn't involve Lamb or St. Brown, I would do.
Yeah, love that. Jeff Wilson or Keontae Ingram?
Keontae Ingram.
Beautiful. Trying to buy CD. His upcoming schedule is choice. Okay, you're just being a fan. All right, no big deal.
I like that.
All right. Well, here we go. I think I just got signed out of that. So there you go. Now I can't see. So you know what? That's all right. We're out of time anyway here.
That's true. Sorry,
if we didn't get to your trade question, hit up, go to the Fantasy Alarm Discord and tag me or Coop. We'll answer your question. You can also go to the Twitter handles at Coop A Fiasco. I'm at Roto Buzz Guy, and we'll help you guys out tomorrow. Get all your lineup questions answered, all of them. And you know what? If we got time for a trade question or two, we'll do that as well. But for now, this is it. This is all we got. Big thanks to our producer, Ernie Acosta. For Andrew Cooper, I'm Howard Bender. This has been Alarm Fantasy Football, and we'll catch you next time.